Mate, what is going on? I've had a full-on day. It's been full-on for months, honestly. But in the last 3 days, I've had 7 hours or 8 hours of sleep in the last 3 days in total. And today I did like what they call a temescali. I think that's the terminology. Basically just a sweat lodge, basically just a sauna. And I was like, yeah, sweet, we're going to get hot for a bit. And I've done this before and it's all good. But no, mate, let's do it back to back 4 times. Mate, got there at 9. Well, we started at 9:30 and I left at 2:30. I'm wrecked. I'm absolutely wrecked. And then I went waterfall jumping around on the way back because traffic was hectic. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm not going to be sitting like a twat in traffic. I'd much rather go do some epic things. But this is my first, one of my maybe third day in total that I've had off and actually done something that I feel like doing myself. That fills my cup up in a way, right? Of course, I've spent days where I've jammed on the laptop for, I don't know, 7 hours, and I've enjoyed the creative aspect of it. But brother, it's good to be out, get some sun, mate. See some humans, do some flips. It's a win. But I tend to just sit and think in my car, right? And I was thinking about thinking. And I was like, dude, why don't I just talk to the camera and might have something good that comes out, right? So, and now I've forgotten what I wanted to say. Come on, mate. These spontaneous things work really well, but I'm insanely dehydrated and lacking sleep. So, here we go. Travel and perspective of the world. So I read this quote the other day, and it said, don't trust a person who doesn't have a passport. They haven't seen the world. How can you expect them to see your perspective? And I was like, oh, yeah, mate. That's it, brother. That's it. And it's not about, you need to see my perspective, because if you see my perspective, then we're all going to agree. No, because it's an egotistical thing for me to think. Because if you got to see my perspective, well then I might have a passport, but I haven't seen your perspective either. Right? I can choose to see your perspective or not. But what I take from that is, I know a fair few people in Australia and some people that I've grew up with that have never left the country of Australia, right? Insane to me. And then you meet people, I've met some people out west of New South Wales, and there's blokes that have never left the state. New South Wales is pretty big, right? But bro, you haven't left the state. You haven't driven across the border. That to me blows my mind. And of course, Australia literally has everything. And if you're not Australian, get to Australia and see a vast, unique, cultureless country. Unless you like beer. There you go, mate. You like beer? We got all the culture for that, right? But also multicultural country in its own way. But if you don't go out and drop $1,000 on a ticket to Indonesia or $3,000 on a ticket to Europe, return, dude, you're not gonna live, okay? People that I grew up with, like in high school, they're popping kids out, mate. They're getting married. They're doing all of this stuff, right? And I'm just like, brother, I'm here to travel, meet epic people, see some cool places, and build the life that, like, set myself up young. So then when I do have a family and start popping out kids and put a ring on it, brother, then we're solid. Then we are good. And I've seen some of the world, and I've matured, and I've developed, and I've invested into myself before I've got to go invest time, energy, and money into somebody else and into a family. To me, it is common sense. And also, it does make sense if it is a standard or it's an expectation or it's a conditioning, because everybody's going to do what their parents did and what their parents did and what their parents did and what their parents did. Of course, right? Makes sense. I'm not hating on the people. But what I learned for myself, if I am choosing to settle down and just have a holiday every 2 weeks and call that life, That's pretty fucking boring, man. That is a soul-sucking existence, not a fruitful life. Right? There's a big difference between life and existence. It's not about you got to become financially free and you got to travel the world and go see all countries before you turn 24. No, mate. It's not about doing that. It's not about accumulating materialistic things like the majority of people show off on social media, right? It's not about that either. It's simply about just a month out of your life to go explore the world, right? Go to 4 different countries in Asia. Go see some proper poverty. I was born in South Africa, dude. I should have actually mentioned that at the start of the video. But I was born in South Africa, right? Moved over here when I was 7 or 8 years old. Super, super grateful that my parents gave my family that opportunity, well, my sister and I, right? And we all got an opportunity as a unit. And things went a bit sideways with family and went an unexpected route, right? But what I'm so grateful for is the opportunity to come here and then go back to South Africa and go see what my family gets up to and go see how bad life could be and go see how great life can be when you don't have anything, when you don't have materialistic stuff and all you have is community and all you have is the clothes on your back and some wooden toys, dude, and a soccer ball, right? The simple things create the biggest smiles amongst a lot of the kids, especially the African kids that don't have a lifestyle like us, if you know what I mean, and have all the things and the stuff. When we choose to invest a couple grand every 3 months, every 6 months, even every year if you have to, because that's your position financially, just take the time to go see some countries authentically. And to round this out, I'll give you an example. Bali. Everybody seems to think Bali is just party central, bintang, 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 and you're there to just get absolutely wasted on a budget, right? They got it so wrong, dude. You go up North Bali, it's like 4 hours, mate. It's a 4-hour ride on a scooter. Take you a little bit longer. You don't actually need to go all the way, mate. Go to the dead center of Bali and go see the locals. If you don't feel like riding a bike and that's not your jam, get a Gojek, bro. But go there and talk to the locals and see how they live. And you don't have to eat their food if you're a bit sus about that, because your body's not going to be designed to eat that because it consumes Western food. But talk to them and see how they operate and ask them the questions and come from a place of curiosity and act like their friend, as majority of them act like your friend. When we can see parts of the countries of the world that have a lot less than we do, we get to see life from a new perspective if we choose to. And then what happens? If we choose to see life from a new, we're going to be, well, for myself, so much more grateful. You're going to complain a lot less about stuff in the world that doesn't actually matter. You're going to be a lot more chilled out because I could be in a worse situation, right? Currently, my aircon's broken, okay? It's going to cost me like $2,000 to fix it. It's not a priority. I'll just deal with the heat. It's all good, man. It could be a lot worse, right? When I was in the mines, we worked out in Burke. 40-degree heat. It sucked, right? It sucked. So it's all about priorities. Well, it's about perspective, which will help you with your priorities. That's it, man. That's it. Travel while you're young, dude. Get out. Get after it. I don't care what your excuse is, in all honesty. If you are in a job, right? I don't know, average wage nowadays seems to be about $1,000, right? You can save 100 of that, okay? Even $50 a week if you really have to. After you've bought the necessities that you actually need and not all the BS. You do that for 10 weeks, you're gonna save up $1,000, right? Go take 3 days over in Bali, man, get a return ticket. Just rough it, right? Not because you want to live lavish or make it look nice on Instagram. No, dude. So you can see the world in a new perspective and have a ball of a time, man. And yeah, go get wrecked on bintangs if that boats your float, man. Happy days, right? I guess I'm very passionate, or a bit of an ask to some people about this topic, because it breaks my heart to see people who just are not content with extra, if you know what I mean. Extra just means you are thriving. You're able to go fill up your car. You're able to go, like, well, you get to, right? You don't have to. You get to fill up your car. You get to, in Australia, go to a playground, there's a barbecue there, you can hang out, you can chill out, you can be there till 7 o'clock at night, and you're not going to be worried about getting shot. You can look outside, and at night you're going to hopefully see some stars, right? You're not seeing bombs. You're not seeing military aircraft blowing your neighbors up. You're not worried for your life. And maybe you are, actually, because worry, that's an emotion, right? So you're worried. But like, the truth is, you should not be worried for your life, right? You don't need to be worried for your life. It's the logic. Yeah, I'm driving a car right now, okay? We got the camera just doing its thing. Yeah, there's a car going towards me, and it's a foot away, well, maybe 3 feet away, and it's going 70 k's an hour, right? And we're going 70 k's an hour. And that means that's 140 kilometers per hour of force, if that's the right terminology. And yes, I will die, right? I will die. That's the truth, mate. Okay? And yeah, I guess it's hard to no, it's not hard to explain. It's actually so simple. I'm trying to explain it like it's fucking algebra. I'm trying to explain algebra to a kid in year 3 that's never touched chat GPT in its life. Every time you hop in your car, you have a potential of dying. Easily, very, very quickly, man. Every time you walk over a bridge, you have a chance that that bridge could fall and you will die. That's the truth, right? Anytime you cross the road, you could die. You could possibly drink some water that could make you die. You get some infection, some hectic infection, because the council didn't filter the water properly, and then your body just decides to not respond very well to it, and you just continue doing life and just moving on and continuing things, and you kick the bucket, right? You could get cancer tomorrow and you could die, right? Maybe it's a freak thing, maybe it's a nutrition thing, maybe it's a genetic thing, nobody knows. But when you do know, it's not going to make anything that much better, right? Yes, you can get support with it, but you might die. That's it. So we're going to die. We don't know when, we don't know how, but it's going to happen, all right? So when we can remember, and when we can understand that and accept, that's it, you're going to die. Not be in fear of it, because, mate, when you're dead, it's not going to matter, is it? Accepting that we are going to die, and then realizing life is just a simple moment in time. The little things don't matter. We can understand that, but also we don't truly get it, right? We can get it. Why I'm passionate about traveling, getting after it, and living, dude, is because when you accept that you are going to die, when you go and see the world, because you realize that time is literally the only thing against you, right? Everything else is a made-up belief or some sort of conditioning that you've had, and you take that and use your worldly knowledge and your acceptance of death to become a better person, it happens so much faster, because your perspective will change if you take all three of those things and just apply them. Simple, mate. Proper simple. Go see people that have it so much worse off than you. Not some bloody World Vision little salesman in the middle of a shopping center, mate. Not some short little 15-second reel of some kid crying and asking you for your money. on Instagram. Not some fancy YouTuber that goes sees the slums of the world and shows you around. No, go see it for yourself, dude. Put in the effort to save some dosh. Find a place that either you really froth over and really want to go, and then go to the locals and just ask them, hey man, I want to see more of this, right? And when you can do that, when you can open your eyes to what's out there, and then open your mind to understand and take on information, ideas, their perspectives, and you can consume parts of their environment for a short period of time, that right there literally can be a turning point in your life if you choose it to be, right? So send it, mate. Send it. That's it. You want to travel the world? Do it. All right? Don't just talk about it and dream it. Just do it, brother. Do it. All right? And this, I'll be straight up with you. This is advice that I am telling you, but also advice that I am telling myself, right? I love the little unique places in third world countries, right? It's sick. I just froth over it, man. It helps me see people who are so much more authentic than the average person that we have around. And this is my ego talking, and when you go to a place where not many people like you and I are, you stand out like dog's balls. And what happens, you get treated so much better with a lot more respect. And when that happens, you can either choose to take advantage of it and be an absolute prick, or you can actually really appreciate it and give them double or triple the amount of kindness that they're giving you. And that is such a beautiful thing. It feels connecting. It feels so wholesome, man. And of course, you get to learn on the way. This is part of our evolution as humans, as blokes, as people. And when we can learn to see the world in a new light, we can then think better when we come back from those places. And when we can think better, we can be better. Simple. So with that, I'm out. Get amongst it. Get after it. Have an amazing day, an amazing evening, amazing morning, amazing afternoon, whatever time you're watching this. And when you go to sleep tonight, just reflect on who you are and what you're doing with your life. And if you're genuinely happy, just reflect, observe the thoughts. You don't have to plan anything or do anything. Just suss it out. Where are you? Where are you going? And act tomorrow. Peace.